I'm here with Jon Mahon. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Jasmine. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you. And you might know John based on a Kerrang radio DJ, also DJing generally every time in
Anywhere that'll let me.
just anywhere, and on tour with Bowling for Soup, which is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, which is crazy. That still doesn't feel real. Like, I don't think it'll feel real until the first day of the first venue. You'll be like, oh shit, this is happening.
It's happening, it's happening. But today we're here to talk about Jon Mahon releasing music. Please tell me how this has started.
So, I started working on this in 2018. That's when I made the business decision of going, right. I used to say this horrible sentence, which was people go, oh, you look like you're in a band. And I go, no, I'm not good enough to make music, but I talk about the people who are. And like, I'd say that without really thinking about what it meant for years. And then I was like, why do I keep saying that? Because I'd love to make music. I'd love to be the person up there, like, playing the songs that, people connect with. So I was like, right, okay, let's stop saying that and let's start doing something about it. So yeah, I've got a digital audio workspace called Ableton, and I've been making mashups anyway. So I was quite used to like deconstructing songs and putting them back together like a jigsaw. And I was like, cool, let's just try and make a song and see what happens. And I made a song, and I was like, cool, I actually quite like that. Let's make another one, and then another one, and then in the end, I ended up with four songs that I'd made, and then it was a case of like, okay, well, what do I do with these? And a buddy of mine called Tom Anderson, who's an amazing producer in Liverpool, he was in a band called Venus de Milo. We went to secondary school with each other. He's one of my best friends. I jumped in the studio with him, and if it wasn't for him, these songs wouldn't sound anywhere near as good as they do. Like, not even close. Like, he is an absolute genius. And yeah, we we put together one of the songs, and that was the song that I was going to kick things off with. But it was a very sad song, like a very intense, mental healthy, like as bad as it gets kind of tune.
Okay,
And
a bit too doom and gloom to start off.
yeah, and like you know Laura Richardson, who's one of my best friends, and she's been such a help for my career over the years, like manage me and just again, I wouldn't be the person I am without Laura helping me out so much. She turned around and was like, "Look, people associate you with being like quite a happy, energetic kind of guy. If you come out the bat with like this really sad, depressing one to begin with, people will be like, is everything all right with John?" So off the back of that, I was like, right, well, I need a song like that to kick it off with, and we actually really didn't have a song like that. So then me and Tom met up again, and in this room, which is my home studio, Tom came over like it was just before Christmas one year, and we basically just cooked that tune from scratch, and now it's the first song that I'm releasing, which is mad.
Yeah, and it's called You Got This.
It is,
And
yeah,
is that a real tattoo?
it is a real tattoo, yeah.
For it. I love it.
Yeah, in my mom's handwriting as well, because you only get one song that's like your first song to be released. And I was like trying to think, I was like, what should I do for the single artwork? I was like, well, yeah, if you only release your first song for the first time once, I was like, getting a tattoo is like a pretty good idea. And then I was like, I didn't want it to just be a random font that doesn't really mean anything. So like, I tricked my mom
Oh,
into handwriting it. I didn't tell her what it was for. I was like, I need you to write the phrase "you got this" onto a sheet of paper for me. And she panicked. She's like, "What's this for? Is everything okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I just need to do that." So then she did it, and then yeah, my boy Johnny Inks went over to his house. Or sorry, went over to my boy Dave's house who shot the shoot. But yeah, Johnny drove. Shout out Johnny. He drove from like Bristol, Bath area to Birmingham to
oh
come and
wow.
tattoo that on me, which is probably the quickest tattoo that he's ever done.
Mhm.
And and yeah, that's what we've used for the single artwork.
No, the single art looks amazing as I've now
Thank you.
seen it. Looks great. Talk about your writing process. So I know you do a lot of mashups for like DJing. What kind of came first? Because if you're talking about wanting to start off with quite a motivational song, were you thinking of like motivational quotes that you can feed off of, and like were you thinking more lyrics, or were you going to the music?
Great question. I'm so glad you asked this question, especially about motivational quotes. Right. So
Talk to me.
there's two in the song that so I drew loads of inspiration in the song, like tons from all sorts of different places. If we're talking lyrical motivation, firstly, the hook of the song, when like me and Tom were writing it in the room, he's like, "What do you want this song to be about?" And I was like, just the idea of like not letting things bringing you down and like getting to you. And he was like, oh, so kind of like don't let the bastards bring you down. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, that could be a hook. So then we recorded that and it just wasn't punching enough. So I started messing around with different swear words and settled on motherfuckers because like I'm a big NFL guy and a Pat McAfee show talks about this all the time where you can like motherfuck people into being inspired.
Yeah.
So I was like, that rolled off the tongue a little better. So the hook became "Don't let the motherfuckers bring you down." But on the note of motivational quotes, there's only one verse in the song, and in that verse, there's a lyric which is about, as the good Lord said, "I'll sleep when I'm dead." "Sleep When You're Dead" is the name of Pritchard from Dirty Sanchez's brand, but it's "Sleep When I'm Dead," and he has been one of like Loki, like the biggest sort of inspirations to me, like the last couple of years. Like he's vegan, like he replaced like his partying lifestyle with like this like ultra sport athlete kind of style where he do like all these marathons and stuff like that. So like that's kind of like a shout out and a nod to him. And then the last line of the verse before it kicks into the chorus is, "If you're high enough, the sun will always shine." And that is a quote from Matthew McConaughey's autobiography called Green Lights.
Hmm.
And me and my best mate Charlie there were obsessed with that audiobook when it first came out. And like it was during the pandemic, and we got into it, and like he was a part of my bubble, and so
Hmm.
he'd come over to mine. We just nailed some beers. I remember like I found the autobiography, and I was like, "Bro, I've listened to this. Please do me a favor, listen to this, and then can me and you just play Yu-Gi-Oh all night and talk about this autobiography?" And we did, and yeah, like that was one of the. I think it's a bumper sticker, as Matthew McConaughey refers to it as. And yeah, like it's in between all the chapters on his books. He's either got like these things, like it's either a prayer, a bumper sticker, or something else. And that was a bumper sticker, and it was like, "If you're high enough, the sun will always shine." And I was like, that's quite a good bar because it's like people think of it as like high enough is like there's the drug implementation over there, but it's like no, it's actually like if you're high on life enough, if you're like the energy that you're outputting is always on a high level, then the sun's always shining, the dark clouds aren't there, the darkness ain't there. Like if you're on that level, like you're above the clouds and it's always sunshine.
I love that. That sounds great. That's what you need in a song. You want to feel that motivation. So yeah, I love that. Musically, tell me your musical influences with this track in particular.
Oh, that's a big question. So, the riff, the opening riff, like the way we started the song, like I'm a big fan of like tunes that progress, and I like the idea of something that starts from nothing and then becomes everything. So when Tom came up with the riff, because literally we just sat in this room, and like this is how talented Tom is. Like he's just a genius. Like he just picked up one of the guitars that I kick around the corner, and he was just messing around, and out of nowhere he just went do 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 do, and I was like, that's it. I was like, that's the melody. So like we had that, and then I wanted the song to start with just a kick drum and a guitar because I just like the pairing of the two, where it's like I just envisage quite a lot of stuff live as well, and it's like if you've just got a kick drum pulsating and then that riff just comes in over the top of it as like a sort of like bare necessity kind of association with the tune, it's got a lot of power to it. So that's where we started, and then the verse in the song. Initially, that was just some power chords, and it was good, but it didn't have like a personality to it. And I'm a big Nickelback guy; like I
Yes.
adore
Cheers for
Nickelback.
that.
So I was like, well, in Burn It to the Ground, it's got like that swing to it, like that do do diddly do do diddly
Yeah.
do, and I was like, cool, let's bring a bit of that Nickelback swag into it. So we swung the riff in the verse a little bit, and then like vocally as well. Vocally is where I kind of like find the most challenges because like I'm not an amazing singer. I'm not going to hide behind that. There's a lot of pitch correction on these fucking tunes. Like there's the song coming that's like heavily auto tuned because I wanted that effect on there. Like I wanted
Mm.
that sort of like Daft Punky
Yeah.
auto tune on it, but on this one because I wanted it to have a bit of rock and a bit of a metal feel to it. I realized that not many people in this day and age sing like Lemmy Kilmister. Like you don't have many voices where you go, "Oh, that person is emulating Lemmy."
Yeah.
And at the time, I was obsessed with Overkill by Motorhead. I just couldn't stop listening to that tune, and I was like, "Do you know what? I'm born on the same day as Lemmy, which is
Are
Christmas
you?
Eve. We share
Oh,
a birthday. Yeah, fun fact for you."
yes.
And do you remember the Kerrang calendars that you used to get in the
Yes.
magazine every year?
Yeah.
So like I was like a dirty, filthy emo kid through and through. Like I almost to a point like I didn't like bands like Motorhead because I was like, these guys are old, man, give me the new
Yeah.
stuff. Like that proper like such like gatekeepy kind of opinion.
Yeah.
And I'd always get really annoyed because every year on December, Lemmy was the image for December, and I was like, why is it never one of my favorite bands like Mike M or Paramore or Fall Out Boy? Why do I never get those? And then I got older, and I was like, man, Lemmy's the goat. Like he is the greatest of all time, and I'm honored to share a birthday with him. And yeah, like I was listening to Overkill loads at the time, and I was like, do you know what? Let's do a little tribute to Lem. Let's like try and emulate like his sort of like gruff, like false foldy, distorted kind of vocal style on that verse. And so yeah, that verse is just basically me doing my best Lemmy Kilmister impression.
Singing. How was that being on the other
Yeah,
side of it?
terrifying.
Yeah.
Like as a guy who can't sing, like terrifying. So like over the years, I've been like, so I knew it was something I eventually wanted to do. So in DJ sets, I started doing this thing. Well, I can't even remember. I started. It was a few years ago now, where like if a crowd's singing back to me at a certain volume, I will do like an a cappella version of Living on a Prayer. So
Hmm.
like I'll just go, Tommy used to work on the docks. And then I'll carry it for a little bit. And then as soon as it gets to the hold on to what we got, the
Yeah.
crowd takes it away. But I had to get them there. Like, because not everyone knows like the first few lyrics of that verse. So
Yeah.
like that was me kind of like getting used to singing in front of people. But yeah, stepping into that booth for the first time and having to lay it down, especially like being surrounded by someone as talented as Tom who sings so beautifully and so pitch perfectly. I was like, oh, bro, you're gonna have to do a lot of correction on this. It's like, it's cool, man, it's cool. But yeah, it was terrifying jumping in the booth for the first time.
Thought about how these songs would translate live. Is that kind of like your long-term plan?
For sure. Yeah, like I wouldn't have released music or written music had I not envisaged playing these songs live in front of people. Because like that's the itch that I've got. As much as it's like putting songs out there and people connecting with them. Like I've been DJing for 11 years now, and I've been pressing play on other people's songs, and I've been watching the reception that other people's songs get and how much they mean to people. And it's as close if you're not in a band, DJing and playing someone else's music is as close you can feel to being in that band and to feel almost what they feel, but it will never be the same.
Mm.
So because of that, I was like, I need to write these songs with performing them live in mind because that's going to be such an important part of the process for me. Is like eventually when I do have enough songs out there that it's a set's worth of songs. Like I want to be able to turn around and like really like deliver like something that's like an entertaining show to go out and watch.
You're not releasing under Jon Mahon.
I'm not.
Can you tell me the
Yeah.
reason behind that?
Yeah, good question. So Jon Mahon has been my radio name for years and years and years. Mahon is my dad's last name, and as much as I love that name and I've had, great association with that name over the years, I wanted a name that is me and like personal to me. And the name that I was actually going to go with was Jonty, which is what my family call me. So like my family at home like call me Jonty. It came from my grandma because my dad was called John and my grandma was like, we can't have two Johns in the house. That's just gonna get confusing. So like from my grandma gave me the name Jonty, but then I was like, do you know what? Like I want to keep that with my family. Like I want that to like stay within the family walls because that means too much to me to put out into the world. But my initials are JBPM. And yeah, obviously BPM in
Your
musical
name?
terms stands for beats per minute. So it's almost like my family named me that in the hopes that one day I'd be a DJ.
Wow. It's like they knew.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not that imaginative. It's just my initials. It just so happens my initials tie in with music. So
Because I read it, I was like, what are those other letters? This makes sense.
yeah, yeah. No, it's a great question.
It's coming out on the 4th of February.
It is.
Are there any more visuals to come with that?
There are, yes, great question. So me and my friend Dave Kai Piper, and Dave is Bowling for Soups UK tour photographer. He's been doing that for a good few years. He's taken some iconic photos of the band, so like some amazing images. And He very, very kindly has been helping me out. Literally, like the last 2 weeks, we've been in Birmingham, like shooting some like little visualizer things. So yeah, there's three that we've got. Like two of them are more standardy kind of visualizers. Like the first one's like a teaser that don't let the motherfuckers bring you down lyric. It's just basically that. And then the day the song comes out, we'll probably drop the sort of the crescendo of the song, like the big last chorus, like just to hope people go and stream it. And
Yeah.
then yeah, the little Lemmy verse. So like I didn't invent like when I wrote the lyrics, I didn't go, I'm gonna write lyrics that you can do like a TikTok dance to. It
Yeah.
just so happened that they're very act outable. And
Mhm.
like when I got the master back for the first time, I was walking to the gym, and like my walk to the gym, I walked down a canal, and it's like 5K from my front door to the gym. And I was walking down this canal, and no one else was on the canal. And I was like, cool, like let's really like have it on this. And like I played it like two or three times, and on like the third or fourth time, I was acting out the lyrics. So like there's a bit
Really.
where it's like I'm a lover, and I do like a love heart, not a fighter, and then like I threw a punch,
You're
and it's
making
like a
your
neck
own TikTok
joker,
dance
like
for it.
yeah, yeah, so like we've done one of those where it's like a big gimmick, like me acting out the lyrics, and yeah, it's silly, it's stupid, but like so am I.
But also, those things are just really good marketing and they catch on. So,
That's the hope. Yeah, that's the hope that yeah, maybe a couple of TikTokers see it and go, oh, okay, cool. I can do a little dance.
exactly. Exactly. Your song will be like viral before no time.
One thing I just say is like if you do take because the song comes in at like just under 3 minutes. If you do take the time to listen to the track, whether you love it or you hate it, just tell me what you think about it because I'm curious. I just want to know your opinions. You'll never upset me. You'll never offend me by telling me that you don't like it. It's cool. Not everyone is meant to like everything, and the other songs that are coming sound nothing like this song. Like all of the other songs, like every song I've written so far, all of them sound different, and that's why Tom was like my producer. He's like dude, he's like, what genre would you call this? And I was like, I don't want to call it a genre. I was like, I want people to be so confused by my sonical output that they're like, which one is he? Can he pick a lane, please? And I'm like, no, you get everything.